Panditarama Forest Meditation Center 16 ကြိမ်မြောက်ရေ60ဒုတိယစခန်းဖွင့်ပွဲအခမ်းအနားအစီအစဉ်မှာဘုန်းကြီးများကနိုင်ငံတကာကရောက်လာတဲ့အာရှဆွေမျိုးကမ္ဘာဆွေမျိုးတန္တရဆွေမျိုးပေါ့လောကနေရာဖြင့်ဆွေမျိုးသုံးတတ်တော်တဲ့ဆွေမျိုးတွေနဲ့အခု16ကြိမ်မြတ်တကာဆုံရတာအမှန်ဝန်တာပါတယ်
This is the 16th annual 60-day retreat held at Panditarama Forest Center. This is the opening ceremony. And yogis who are related as Asian relatives, as relatives on this planet Earth, as relatives in samsara, yogis who are related on these 3 levels of worldly relationship have come here. Sayadaw is very happy to greet all of you. And people have come here knowing that worldly happiness is not enough. In search of something beyond worldly happiness, people have left behind their businesses, their jobs, their families, and come from very far away. So Sayadaw is very happy to be able to greet all of you here. And for his side, he's ready to give you the teaching of the Buddha as instructed by the late Most Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, the Dhamma which brings special happiness, which brings a happiness beyond that which the worldly pleasures can provide. So he is always ready to greet you with this Dhamma. Every living being, from small bugs on up, every type of living being dislikes suffering. Nobody wants to suffer even a little bit. Everyone loves, cherishes happiness. This is the nature of beings. But although beings search for a happiness that is lasting, a happiness that is guaranteed, most don't find it. This type of happiness is very rare in the world. Thus, most beings go through life involved in worldly happiness, and they end their lives that way. The happiness that Sayadaw wants to give you is a happiness that contains no danger. It is guaranteed. It is a happiness that is far better than any type of happiness the world can bring. It's a happiness that never gets dull, a happiness that never becomes boring or old. And Sayadaw is ready to teach in accordance with the Buddha the way to this happiness. The Panditarama Dhamma family is ready to help everybody who has come here to practice, both the local yogis who come from within Myanmar and those who come from far away. We are all ready to help you to gain this guaranteed happiness. On one side, when someone offers you a gift with loving kindness, then on the other side, the recipient cherishes the gift. That is the way of the world. when we receive something that is offered with loving kindness. And one preserves this gift. But in the case of material gifts, they are gone in a moment. The Dhamma gift, however, is something that becomes better and better the more we use it. The more we use the gift of Dhamma, it becomes more and more complete. It becomes better and better. And Sayadaw Ji has the special hope that in 15 days or in 1 month, you will be able to experience this Dhamma gift in a special way. For those who practice according to the instructions, this Dhamma of Satipatthana meditation, practicing with care and respect, meticulously and continuously as possible. Those who practice in this way gain a happiness that is many times better than the happiness of sense pleasures. When the clean mind arises and occurs one after another without a break, one by one, then one begins to see the true Dhamma, beginning with discernment of nama and rupa, or mind and matter. The happiness that arises through the practice is lasting. It's not a happiness that comes from just using something once and then throwing it away. It's the more that we practice the Dhamma, the more its virtues shine, and the more one doesn't want to let it go. One wants to continue to practice. So those who reach this stage in the practice keep on going with faith in the Dhamma, and they gain a profit from their lives. They get something very, very valuable from their life. And it's enough to make one sing with joy. Every being, both you and I, every being likes happiness and peace. But it's very important to choose our happiness. Those who prefer sense pleasures, like beautiful sights, pleasant sounds, beautiful fragrances, tastes, touch, various kinds of touch, between men and women, between various things, between various people, and also pleasant things to imagine. So most people think these are really good to experience. But whatever sense pleasure it is, it's bound to become boring. So because one thinks that's all there is, one searches for better and better sense pleasures. And the Buddha said that when people just spend their lives searching for better and better sense pleasures, they end their lives that way. This type of happiness involving sense pleasures is a fatal happiness. So the Buddha taught that as well as this, there is this type of happiness, the happiness of experiencing sense pleasures, which is called Vedita Sukha. But there's a type of happiness called Avedita Sukha. There's no experience of any sense object. There's no experience, no seeing a beautiful sight, no smell, taste, touch, thinking, and so on. This happiness is completely uninvolved with experiencing through the 6 sense doors. And it is peaceful. If those of you who have come here out of faith, come here and practice according to the instructions, you will surely taste this happiness that surpasses worldly happiness. And Sayadaw wishes that you all be able to practice to this level. And in order for you to be able to do so, Sayadaw is ready to teach you what the Buddha taught according to the extent of his abilities. People here who have come here have faith that there is a happiness that is better than sense pleasures. And the Buddha had a word for this, which is sukha visesa. Sukha means happiness, both happiness of mind and body, both now and in the future. And this special happiness, this guaranteed happiness, is something that the Buddha talked about. We are practicing to gain this. And if one practices according to the instructions, one can gain this type of happiness in a week, in 15 days. So one has to understand on one side that one can gain this happiness through following the instructions. And one has to be ready also to use more than ordinary effort. It's not a matter where one can just use one's everyday effort and everyday amount of care. One has to use extra effort and extra special care. This task is what the Buddha called this task kirya. Kirya means something that must be done. It is a must. Something that must be done. One can understand that this is a desirable thing and a good thing to do. It's not something to be avoided or put aside. This work is pure and clean. The qualities of greed, hatred, and delusion, lobha, dosa, and moha, attachment to things, attachment to what we have, attachment to not wanting, not liking other people, hating, cruelty, and being confused. These are things which pull us down. And if we can eliminate these, to the extent we eliminate these qualities, we become pure. And as one becomes pure and clean, one realizes this is really a good thing to do. This is truly an important thing to do. The Buddha used the word punya, and this word has a hidden meaning. Of course, Burmese people may know this meaning more than people who come from abroad. But anyhow, this word punya in Pali means something which purifies. It purifies one's existence. And therefore, one who wants one's life to be clean and pure should should do these things which are called punya. So the Buddha described things which are called punya. When we do those, they purify our life. So one who wants to become free of qualities that are low and debasing and gain wholesome mental qualities should do acts of punya, P-U-N-N-A. One should do actions and say things that purify one's life. This type of action and speech, which purifies one's life, is something to be cherished and valued. So one should do these types of deeds. One should fulfill them. So how should one perform these actions which purify one's life so that one will gain the benefits, become pure, and get rid of the qualities which debase one, which make one low? Sayadaw is going to speak about this in terms of the meditation work. The Buddha spoke about 3 kinds of punya, or purifying deeds. The first includes dana, that is giving. Dana is giving something that we own to others. And the second group is sila, or morality. This is controlling our physical and verbal behavior so that we don't harm others. And the third group is bhavana, that is making our mind clean and developing knowledge increasingly. So this is called bhavana punya. So among these 3 kinds of purifying deeds called punya, dana punya, or the purifying deed of dana, giving, Sayadaw will describe in brief how this act is pure, how to do dana so that it is clean. So we have something. A person who gives has something, and instead of just keeping it for themselves so that they can use it, one gives it to somebody else. Either because one sees, oh, that person needs it, and they want to fulfill that person's need, or because they respect the person and they want to show their respect. So that's basically what's involved in dana, in giving. So when we give, if we hold on to the thing, and if we think, oh, I really want it, I don't really want to give it away. Okay, these qualities make our dana, our gift, unclean. We have to get rid of these if we're going to give something away. We have to get rid of any holding on to it, any feeling sorry that you're giving it up. And when we give, we should do it without any desire to get something in return. We shouldn't have any desire for getting something back for ourselves, or for gaining a reputation as someone who's able to give, as a generous person. So we have to be free of this selfish greed. It's good to be free of selfish greed, because people who have this quality of greed will turn to stealing. If they give in to their greed, they will turn to take other things that belong to others, or people will turn to lying for their own benefit, or they will turn to abusing other people sexually, and so on, and various types of misdeeds involving sex. So these types of misdeeds are sure to follow when one has greed to an extreme. So when one gives in the way just described, giving, wanting the other person to be well out of respect, not holding on to what one is giving, then slowly one reduces one's greed. This tendency becomes weaker and weaker. So when we give, we don't want anything for ourselves, we don't look for fame. And this type of giving is very excellent. When we know how to give in this way, our act of giving is excellent, because we're not holding on to the gift, we're not expecting anything for ourselves in return, we're not looking for any fame. So this type of giving purifies us. It's pure. and therefore it's called punya. This type of dana is very respectable, and dana should be done in this way so that it is free of greed. So on one side, our active giving is free of selfishness. And on the other side, we should also add loving kindness. When we give a gift with the idea that may the other person be happy with this gift, may they be happy because they have this thing to use, this attitude is friendly love. Not the love between a husband and wife, which is tied up with raga or lust. This type of friendly wish for the other's welfare is something that we should add when we perform an act of giving. And if we do this every time we give something, the quality of loving kindness or metta will grow in us. So one who has strong loving kindness or metta is able to be patient with one's family members or with one's work group. One is able to be patient, and if one is harmed, one is able to forgive. One is able to make sacrifices for the benefit of the whole, and so on. So dana that includes loving kindness brings many other wholesome qualities with it. So one who performs dana in this way, with the wish for that the recipient be happy, will such a person make others suffer because of what they themselves want? When they're thinking about wanting the other person to be well, when they're giving up their own self-benefit, such a person will begin to develop sympathy and compassion for others. So as strong as loving kindness becomes, the quality of compassion or sympathy also will develop in one. And then one won't turn to acts of cruelty. This tendency will be eliminated. So dana, which not only is free of selfish greed, but is also free of the tendencies towards cruelty and anger, this type of dana should be performed.
Oh, yeah.
So when the mind arises together with loving kindness and compassion, then the quality of satisfaction in seeing that others are happy, satisfaction to see that others have what they need, this type of quality will also arise in one's mind. And in Pali, this is called mudita, the joy that we feel from seeing that another person is happy. So, because of these qualities of the mind, especially because of mudita, there will be no jealousy, because instead of feeling jealous about what other people have, we'll feel happy. And because we perform dana in a way that reduces our own tendency to want for ourselves, we also will reduce our tendency towards miserliness. So the quality of mudita, or joy in another person's happiness, as it increases, it decreases, it causes the qualities of jealousy, envy, and miserliness to be reduced. So when one performs giving that brings about the reduction of hatred, brings about the reduction of cruelty, jealousy, and envy, these four qualities are all rooted in dosa, or anger: hatred, cruelty, jealousy, and envy. So in doing one's dana, these qualities become very weak. Anger becomes quite weak. And if it does arise, one is able to eliminate it easily. So will such a person who has weakened anger like this, will they resort to killing because of extreme anger? Or will they resort to harming or lying out of anger? No, a person who has weakened the qualities of anger and developed wholesome qualities like metta, karuna, mudita, loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy, such a person won't resort to killing or any other actions based on anger. So this doing dana in this way that brings about these good mental qualities is a very big support to being able to keep the 5 precepts. An act of giving that doesn't involve selfishness, that includes loving kindness, metta, and compassion, karuna, gives full benefit. It's very beneficial. One should understand this. One should do dana with this knowledge. So no matter how many good things one has in life, when one is born, one is bound to experience aging, sickness, sorrow, grief, and so on. And if there's no new life, all these forms of suffering will just die away. So the Buddha taught the way to a happiness that involves no new life, the happiness of gaining no new rebirths, no more future existences. When one does dana, when one does an act of giving, one should aim for this type of happiness. One should make the aspiration that this act of giving support my realization of this happiness. And when one can do dana in this way, it's very excellent. When one is free of extreme greed, or lobha, hatred, dosa, and moha, delusion, then there's no chance that one will give in to these and commit misdeeds. So it becomes very easy for one to avoid killing, avoid stealing, avoid adultery, lying, and so on. So because of doing dana in this way, morality becomes very easy for us to keep. And morality, or sila, this is our basic human morality is sila. So dana can open the door for us to keep sila, and therefore dana, or generosity, is included in the actions that are called punya kirya vatu. So when we have done this pure type of dana, wishing for other people's welfare, then it can support our work to realize happiness that is beyond the world. So giving in itself only brings material benefits. This is called bhoga sampatti in Pali. It brings us material fulfillment. So that's what dana gives. But it can support our realization for nibbana. It can't bring the realization of this type of happiness in itself, but it can be a big support for realizing it. On one hand, we refrain from gross misdeeds such as killing and stealing because we see that these actions are like feces. And if we pick them up, like if we pick up feces, it will make us dirty. So too, if we commit these acts, they make us foul, they make us unclean. On the other hand, we may see that they are like a red-hot burning ball. One won't pick up a red-hot burning ball because one knows that if I pick this up, it will burn me very badly. One may see misdeeds as like this. So these two mental qualities, the healthy fear and shame, healthy shame regarding misdeeds is hiri, and this healthy fear of committing misdeeds is called ottappa. These are two mental qualities that cause us to avoid committing misdeeds, and thus our physical, verbal behavior becomes clean, and we don't harm others, we don't violate others because of this shame and fear. Or, on the other hand, we may understand that just like I wouldn't want to be killed, I wouldn't want to be attacked, other people also don't like it. This understanding of how other people feel is also a mental attitude that causes us to refrain from doing harm to others. And however we may, whether it's because of shame and fear, or whether it's because of an understanding of how other people feel, when we observe morality, this is called sila punya, the purifying deed of sila, or morality. Every person in the world should have this basis of morality, not just Buddhists. This basic human morality is needed by everyone: Christians, Hindus, Muslims, people who have no religion, Buddhists. Everyone should have this basic human morality. Keeping morality results in human birth. One gains a human life because one keeps good sila. And dana, giving, gives us material completement. So, because we all here are human and we have enough materially, so we've all performed these types of actions in the past. We've all performed sila and we've all performed dana. That's what's giving us our present situation. So, if all we do from here is dana and sila, or giving and morality, this is like breaking even. The Buddha taught a way to profit from our life, and this way is bhavana. That is, first of all, making the mind clean. Second of all, building up mental strength, so that the pure mind occurs again and again and again, becomes stronger and stronger. When we do this, the tendency to commit misdeeds becomes very far away. The tendency towards unwholesomeness is distanced. And further, we continue to practice so that we can cut off the roots of defilements themselves. When one can do this, then one's physical, verbal, and mental behavior become very clean. And thus our life has become quite pure. This is why bhavana is called punya kirya vuttu. So those who have come here to the extent that we've done some type of dana, and we're all keeping sila as the basis. But this dana and sila is not enough. It's as though we're building a house. These qualities, these actions, good deeds of dana and sila are like the foundation. When we build a house, we have to have a foundation. But we can't stay at that level. If we want to have a place to live, we have to build upon the foundation. So for this, we have to practice the Dhamma of mental development. And the Buddha taught us the way to do this. He taught the method of mental development. So we can, with this method of Dhamma, we can build ourselves a noble house. an Arya house. This is something that can be accomplished for sure in 2 months. It can even be done in 15 days. This method, all that one has to do at this point is listen to the instructions for Vipassana practice according to the teaching of the Buddha as instructed by the late Most Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw. So for now, Sayadaw Ji has merely given a talk to welcome all of you, and that will be all for today. Sayadaw Ji urges you all very deeply to, in order to get the benefit of having come here, practice according to the instructions, because you can gain a special happiness that is far better than any type of sense pleasure. That's all for today.